Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. Let's begin with the another part of food production and management. As in the earlier part, I have told you about the agriculture, the basic practices related to the crop production. In this slide, we will see another practices which are related to the crop production. Along with that, we will also discuss the other parts which are related to the breeding and management of animals, which also comes under the agriculture. Let's begin. In earlier part, we have seen the practices like right kind of soil and the right kind of seed selection. After the selection of seed, the third practice is sowing. What sowing is? Sowing is the scattering of seeds on the land either by hands, which is known as broadcasting, or it's also done with the help of plug, which is attached with a seed bowl at its top, and seeds are sown in a lane. In this slide, I have shown you in two different pictures how sowing is done. Now let's come to the another part, that is raising seedlings in nursery. As sowing is directly related to the land, there is another practice which is done to raise some seedlings in nursery, and after the small plantation is grown, that is cultivated directly in the main land. You can see the example is paddy and many vegetables which are grown in the nursery first under great care to avoid any kind of damage. Then these small plantlets are cultivated on the main land. Coming to the next practice which is related to the crop production is transplanting. Why transplanting is done? Transplanting allows better penetration of roots in the soil and better shoot development. Transplanting is commonly practiced in rice and many vegetables. It is done in such a way that the proper distance is kept between the plants and rows to enable the plants to receive sufficient sunlight and water. Always you have seen the paddy land is always flooded with the water so that all the plants get enough water for their growth. After sowing and transplanting, the another practice related to the crop production is manuring. Manuring is the addition of fertilizers to the main crop. Fertilizers are either inorganic materials or the organic one. These are those chemicals which are used to increase the essential elements of the soil. We know the soil is full of nutrients, but sometimes due to the production of another kind of plants, its fertility decreases. So to maintain its fertility and its nutrients, some fertilizers and manures are added to the main crop during its rotation. In manures, farmyard manures, green manures, compost, sea and poultry manures are the main examples. After manuring, irrigation is done. Once seeds or the seedlings establish themselves in the field, water is again given in the field. This is known as irrigation. Irrigation is either done through the canals or with the help of pipes which lead to each and every section of the field, so that every crop plant can get enough water for its utilization. In this slide, I have shown you both the manuring as well as the irrigation process in the pictures added. As we all know, when the crops are grown, they should be protected from weeds and other insects so that we can get a healthy crop. First of all, we will know about what weeds are. Weeds are those unwanted plants which grow along with the main crop, and hence utilizes the nutrients from the soil, which decreases the nutrients to the main crop. So we used to remove those unwanted plants either with the help of sickle or another instruments on the daily basis. And there is another application, the spray of insecticides or pesticides. Why insecticides and pesticides are used? As to protect the main crop from the pest as well as from the insects which can cause damage to the main crop. These insecticides kills pests as well as the larvae, but not the plants which we need. So whenever you use to eat fruits, grains or vegetables, they should be washed thoroughly, as they always have a coat of these pesticides which can be harmful to us also. So what is to be done once the crops mature? There are another practices, harvesting and threshing, which are related to the matured crops. Once the crops mature, they are cutted and collected either by hands or with the help of sickle or with machines known as combines or harvesters. You must be known to some harvest festivals which are always associated with the cutting of some crops on some seasons. These festivals are also related to some particular states of the nation, as Pongal is always celebrated in the south of India, Baisakhi is celebrated in Punjab, and Diwali, Holi, Bihu, these are associated with the Bihar, UP and Assam respectively, to show that the crops are now matured and they are ready to get collected by the cutting method. Now there comes a question, what are Kharif crops? The Kharif crops are those crops which are grown or cultivated in summers and are harvested in the winters. And what are Rabi crops then? The Rabi crops are those crops which are always cultivated in the winter and are harvested during the month of March and April. After the cutting, threshing is done. The threshing is the process of making hay after cutting of crops and separation of grains from the chaff, either done manually with the machine known as thresher to obtain the grains. After threshing, winnowing is done. Winnowing is the separation of seeds from the chaff. In this process, seeds are being heavier, they fall straight on the earth, while chaff, which is lighter in weight, is blown a little farther away by the wind. In this way, seeds are separated, and in these pictures I have shown you the process. After the collection of these seeds, these grains, storage of the seeds and the grains is done. Storage should be done in such a way that these seeds should be protected from the birds, rodents, rats and some insects. Vegetables and fruits are always stored till that time until they reach to the consumers in cold storages. Seeds are also stored in a cemented halls known as godowns, which are fumigated timely to check the growth of the pests which are harmful to the seeds or which can damage the main crops or main grains which are being used by the customers after some time. Now here comes in another question, is the plant directly grown like transplanting or the sowing of seeds, or is there any another way to improve these crops? Yes, there is another way like plant breeding, This is the technique which involves crossbreeding, like when the two varieties of plants are crossbreeded so that we get a better adapted variety and the new one. The anthers of one plant are removed by a forceps before they mature and produce pollen grains. This is known as emasculation. Then the pollen grains of another plant are dusted over to the stigma of this flower to bring about cross pollination. This plant is now again crossbreeded. The improved variety thus obtained is known as stock. In this way, we get the better crops and the better plants than the original one. As we can improve the crop plants, we can also improve the soil on which the main crops are grown. It is done by two ways: crop rotation and mixed cropping. The another one is field fallow. Crop rotation is done in such a way that some plants are grown with the main crops. For example, leguminous plants are always grown with the maize and wheat, which are the main crops. As we all know, leguminous plants helps to fix the nitrogen which is present in the environment with the help of rhizobium bacteria, and this nitrogen is essential for the growth of plants. Hence it helps to increase the nutrients to the soil on which the crop is grown. The cultivation of groundnut can replenish the minerals to the soil when it is also grown or cultivated with the main crops. When two crops are grown together to save time and labor, which helps the product and waste materials of one crop to be utilized by the another crop, if chosen properly, this method is known as mixed cropping. The another practice to improve the soil improvement is field fallow. The field is left in such a way so that the crop is not cultivated for a single season. In this way, the soil gets enough humus as well as good amount of nutrients with the help of microorganisms, so that one after the crops are grown to the main field, they get good amount of nutrients. This process is known as field fallow. As in earlier video, I tell you that agriculture is not only the cultivation of plants, it is also associated with the breeding and management of animals. Now we will see how different kinds of animals or birds are managed or breeded in such a way so that we get different kinds of products from them. In this context, first of all, we will understand what dairying and poultry is. Dairying is that business which helps us to get milk and the milk products from the animals like cow and buffaloes, and these buffaloes or cows are kept and managed on a very large scale to get the quintals of milk, so that we can also get the different milk products, and this milk is sold overall in the whole cities so that they get a good amount of business from it. On the another way, poultry is the domestication of a group of birds such as chicken, geese, turkey and duck for the purpose of obtaining eggs and meat from them. Now, are all hens able to give the eggs? No. The egg-laying birds are known as broody hens. How they are feeded? They are always feeded with the limestones and other grains. Now, it is a surprise why limestone is given as a feed product for the hens, as limestones helps them to develop the egg shells. The poultry shelters are protected in such a way so that they do not get rodents or heavy rain inside. You must be surprised that some diseases are also associated with the birds, known as fowl cholera, chickenpox, and ranikhet. To prevent the hens from such diseases, birds are always vaccinated. You must have seen some fish markets either in your village or in the cities where you live. Now the question arises, from where these fishes are obtained on such a large scale. In this context, we will know about the pisciculture. Now, what the pisciculture is? It is the rearing and the management of fishes on a very large scale to get a large production, so that we can overcome the demand of the customers. The main fishes grown in the J&K are rohu, labio rohila, brown trout, brass crab, rainbow trout, etc. And now you see, about 5,000 industries are associated with the fish farming, in which different number of families are associated. The annual production of fish farming is 15,000 quintals, and the number of fisher folk engaged in a single place, for example, related to the Wooler Lake, are 1200. Now you can imagine on what scale pisciculture or fish farming is done to get the different kinds of fishes on a very large scale. You all must be familiar with the word honey. Honey is having so many medicinal properties, like it helps us to keep our body warm during the extreme winters. Also, it helps us to relieve the throat pain. Along with that, it also helps to reduce weight when is consumed with lukewarm water. Now, the question arises, from where this honey is obtained. The honey is obtained from the bee hives, which are managed in such a way so that the honey bees are reared in these beehives to get honey and wax. You must be surprised that all bees are not similar. A colony of honey bees consists of workers, which are sterile females, drones, which is a fertile male, and the queen, which is fertile female. It is the fertile female which helps to lay eggs. The honey is extracted by honey extractor. It contains 17% of water and 78% of sugar, with minerals and enzymes which help in digestion of food. In this way, I have completed all the practices which are associated with the agriculture. Hope you all understand the topic food production and management. At last, thank you all for listening and for liking my videos and subscribing my channel. I hope you all are well. Stay home, stay safe.